Hello and welcome back to Stop and Go F1 for this, the preview to the Chinese Grand Prix. A day earlier because it is the first sprint race weekend of the season. I'm very much looking forward to it. A bit of a change up to the format of the sprints this year. Firstly, like and subscribe. I nearly forgot to say it then. Of course, you got to like and subscribe. That is the rules. But yeah, the format's a little bit different this time round. So now we have on the Friday FP1 and the sprint qualifying. Then Saturday we have the sprint and the qualifying for the main race. Then on Sunday we have the main race itself, which, could lead to the race actually being a bit more interesting because it means that the sprint race and the main race aren't at the same time in the day, so temperatures might be different from that point of view. Also, it means that if you truly mess up in the sprint race, if you have a big crash, you might not be able to even partake in qualifying and might have to start from the back in the race. That could lead to something interesting there. So yeah, it's looking like we could be in for something quite interesting. Also, combine that mix with just China in general. China's a great track. Now, of course, we haven't been there in a very long time. It's been a 5-year break since we've been there. I think that must have been 2019 then, if my awful maths are correct, which I believe they are. So yeah, the 2019 season was the last time we were in China. Now this is a track which I really like. It's a really good track. There's big opportunities for overtaking in this track for sure. There's long straights in most of the sectors, but there's also some slow speed corners. It can be quite a challenging track as well. The majority of the grid won't have raced here. And, the other half of the grid haven't raced here in a long time. Especially someone like Fernando Alonso, who during the 2019 season was retired. So, it's been, since 2018 since he's been there. What we're looking at this weekend, though, to just make it even more unpredictable, is, even though F1 hasn't been here, it seems like not much else has been here either. I had a quick look into it, and it looks like there's been a few Porsche series that race here. But apart from that, I think this might be the second main race weekend they've had of the year. So it's not a track that is used often, which means the level of grip upon the track is quite low. And sometimes when we see a track that has low grip, we see teams don't really want to rush out there and get on there straight away because they don't want to be the ones who put the grip down on the track. We're not going to have that this weekend. In FP1, I doubt we're going to see people waiting around for others to put some grip on the track because we only have the one practice session before we're into qualifying. So everyone's going to have to go out there right away. And also, understanding the tyres will be the big thing this year as to gaining success. Because, as I said, last time we were there was 2019. That was when we had the 13-inch tyres on the car. Very different to what we have now. Is it 18-inch tyres they have now? I can't even remember. I'm going to do a quick Google. What size F1 tyres? 18-inch tyres that they use now. So it's a very different tyre compound that we have. Also, there will be no feeder series, no F2, no F3, no F1 Academy. So we're right in with F1. So they'll be the first ones out on the track. Mix in the fact that it's looking like it's going to rain on Friday night. So between the sprint shootout and the main sprint race, all the grip that they put down on the first day may now then be gone. Also on top of that, apparently they've painted the track. So it hasn't been resurfaced, but it's been painted, which could also add another layer here. So the teams are coming into this race pretty much blind in terms of tyres and setups and all that kind of stuff. Yes, a lot of them will have their data from 2019, but how useful is that? I'm going to say not very useful at all. Not only was it different tyres, but different generations of cars. We didn't have the ground effect cars that we have now. So we are entering this weekend pretty much blind for everyone with one practice session. And that really excites me because this really is going to show which of the teams and which of the drivers truly are the best. Who can adapt really quickly to get that setup right, get that tyre information correct, and who can jump on top of that, and which teams are going to struggle. Which teams are going to be on the back foot? Now, of course, the Parc Fermé rules are also different this year for sprint races, because I think you can change your car now between the sprint race and the main qualifying. So if you get your setup wrong, you're not entirely on the back foot for the entire weekend. You do have a chance to change it, but you could just change it and make it even worse. So I'm actually very much looking forward to this. I know the overall opinion on sprint races aren't necessarily positive, and I know the last time we were out in the Chinese Grand Prix, it wasn't necessarily great. But I think all the elements coming together for this race weekend are pointing towards it being pretty good. Also, mix that in with some stats here for you. Max Verstappen has never led a lap at the Chinese Grand Prix. Now, surely that has to change this weekend. This is one of 2 tracks on the 2024 calendar that Max has never won at. So it's this and Singapore, his ultimate bogey track. So he'll be looking to get a win here. And the reason as well he'll be looking to get a win here is because the trophy, it's just been revealed just before I started recording this video. But the trophy for this weekend is something really quite special, because they have launched F1's first ever wearable trophy. Now, if you're watching on the YouTube, here it is. So it's based upon the laurel wreaths that you used to get in classic Formula 1. Back in the day when you used to win, you get your trophy, you get a laurel wreath put around your neck. So this is a trophy made to look like a laurel wreath. But also, much like the classic Kiss Me trophy that I know we all loved so much from last year, when the winner puts this around their neck, it will light up, which is going to look pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to this. I like these kind of things. Ultimately, they are stupid and pointless, but I like stupid and pointless things. I mean, if you're watching this channel, you probably like stupid and pointless things as well. So a light-up laurel wreath trophy, that excites me, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm also hoping that the Kiss Me trophy appears at some point again this year. Let's now, though, go into the news. There's only, it's been a very quiet week. There's not really much to talk about. Now, we had the news video on last Saturday, we spoke about Alonso's contract and kind of silly season, looking forward to what's going on there. We got a bit of follow-up on that thanks to Helmut Marko, who, if you want news to get out very quickly, just tell Helmut Marko, because he's been spoken to about the 2025 Red Bull season. He had this to say. He said, "We are talking to Carlos Sainz. He is having his best ever season in Formula 1, but he has a very lucrative offer from Audi on the table, and we cannot match or beat that." He also went on to say, "It is clear that Checo is currently having his best season since he's been with us. If he can keep up these performances, especially qualifying in Japan, then he is definitely the best option for Red Bull in 2025. He's a team player and has now realised that his radical approach in terms of setups last year was the wrong one. Now he has a setup much more similar to Max's." So that's what Helmut Marko has to say there. So coming out and saying that he is talking with Carlos Sainz, which seems very rarely is come out and fully say, yeah, we're talking to him. But not only saying we're talking to them, but also revealing Audi are talking to him and have laid out a huge amount of money that even Red Bull cannot beat. Now, I spoke about this a little bit on the Saturday video about Carlos Sainz. And the thing for me with him, in terms of going to Audi, I think Carlos Sainz is having a great season right now. Of the 3 races that he's done, I've given him a 10 out of 10 for every race so far in my driver rating, so I think he's doing fantastically. The thing is with Audi, is they're going to come into the F1 grid in 2026. So it means that Sainz is going to have a year of Stake F1 team Kick Sauber, who don't look too hot right now because they can't do pit stops. Then from there, Audi aren't going to come out of the gates and be challenging for wins straight away. They might not even be challenging for podiums or points. We have no idea where they're going to be. Now, I have no doubt that at some point, Audi will be in a position where they have a strong Formula 1 car, because that's what Audi do. They come into motorsport and they do well, but I don't see them coming into F1 and getting there straight away. Now, Carlos Sainz, how old is he? I'm going to have a look quickly, see if I can find his age. But, he doesn't want to waste he's 29 years old, so by the time Audi come into Formula 1, he'll be 31. He doesn't want to waste his best years in Formula 1 waiting for Audi to make him a good car, because, it's going to be 2 years for Audi to be on the grid. From there, who knows, maybe another 2, 3, 4, 5 years until they're in a position that they're going to be winning. Carlos Sainz wants to win world championships. And who knows, I think he possibly could be good enough. He can be, if he's being this consistently good, who knows. So if I was Carlos Sainz, and I have my two offers in front of me, Red Bull for less money, or Audi for more money, it's not like the Red Bull offer is going to be bloody minimum wage. It's still going to be a hell of a lot of money. And he's on a great little streak here of doing well. Go with Red Bull, who this time next year, you can guarantee Red Bull will have a good car. A car good enough to challenge for world championships. So if I was Sainz, I'd go there because at the end of the day, let's say he takes a 1 or 2 year deal at Red Bull. When that 1 or 2 year deal at Red Bull is done, I reckon Audi is still going to want him. If he goes to Audi for 2 years, once that offer's done, are Red Bull going to want him? Who knows? So, Sainz has got an interesting decision to make here. Let's also talk about Checo, because Checo, of course, is having a very good time at the minute as well. Not as good as Sainz, but he is proving to be pretty good at the moment. My one issue with Checo is this. It's that with him, if you look at his results over the last few years, it's exclusively his time at Red Bull, let's say, he does seem to follow a formula of coming into the start of the season, looking really good, then dropping off in the middle of the season, then picking it back up towards the end of the season. If you look at this time last year, we were discussing Sergio Perez as someone who was challenging Max Verstappen for the world title. Now, a few months later, he's in the middle of a streak of never entering Q3. And that's how Checo's kind of form can fluctuate from side to side. I mean, ultimately, he did finish second overall in the championship, which is fantastic. But I feel like Checo does lack that consistency, and that has been proven over his previous few seasons with Red Bull. Now, if he can prove me wrong this season and be consistently as good as he is right now, then yeah, I see no reason to drop him, even for someone as good as Carlos Sainz. Because if you've got someone who is performing as well as Checo is as a secondary driver, then that's great. But we have to keep an eye on Checo's performances throughout the remainder of the season. And that is really it for the news. I told you it was a quiet week, but it is now time for Special Helmet Street, everybody. There's some pretty funky ones here. So far, only 3 have been announced. Now, because we are doing this a bit earlier than usual, because it is a sprint race weekend, we might see some more come in throughout the week as well. So let's have a look here. Firstly, at Alex Albon, who's gone for the Panda helmet here, which is very nice. Now, we know Albon loves his animals, and here's another one from him. Now, I don't think he does have a pet panda, because he has lots of pets, but yeah, this one, pretty good. Let's have a look at George Russell, this is, in the Mercedes, has gone for just the typical Chinese red there with the dragon on the side. It is the year of the dragon, so we're going to see quite a few dragons here. He's got the Chinese symbols on the side. That is the Chinese symbols for the number 63, which is his number. I think that's his number, isn't it? 63? I'll double check later. Or you've already probably put it in the comments. But yeah, also, I haven't got a photo of it, but Alpine have got this red and yellow/gold team kit this weekend to celebrate the Chinese Grand Prix coming back. And it is also the 20th anniversary of the Chinese Grand Prix as well, apparently. But yeah, the Alpine kit just makes them look like Ferrari. So I guess they're hoping if they dress like Ferrari, their car might go like a Ferrari as well. But, it looks very nice because the Ferrari looks very nice. But finally, it is the king of Special Helmet Street himself. It's Valtteri Bottas, who's taken the whole Year of the Dragon thing to a brand new level. Because his helmet is just a dragon head. So we see the eyes up here, the teeth coming down here. Once again, in that red and yellow. I don't know whether red and yellow is it. It's from the flag, isn't it? The Chinese flag is red and yellow. So there you go. Looks very nice. And then from the back as well, I think this is. He said it was some kind of good luck proverb or something on the back. Sorry, I don't know what that was there, but this is absolutely beautiful. That's my favourite of the lot so far for Special Helmet Street. So yeah, only 3 so far. But yeah, we don't actually have Upgrade Corner at the minute because, we don't know. The details hasn't come out yet, so maybe we can talk about that tomorrow if there is anything in terms of big upgrades. But I don't think there will be, if I'm honest. George Russell's number is 63, by the way. I haven't heard any rumours of anything big. It seems like everyone is now saving their next big upgrades for maybe Imola at the start of the European leg of the season. So we'll wait and see if anyone's brought anything big tomorrow. We can talk about that. So I guess all that's really left to do now is talk about predictions. I know this is a quick preview video, but there really is not much to talk about. So my predictions, firstly, is Zhou points is what I'm going to go for. It's his home race, his first ever home race. He's been welcomed like a king at this race. His face is everywhere. He seems to be having a great time. And the Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber team seem to have nearly sorted out their pit stop issues with the wheel nuts, but it also seems that maybe it's a heat-related issue, and now the Japanese Grand Prix was quite cold, so maybe that's why it looked good there, and if we go to somewhere maybe hotter, that issue might come back again, so we'll have to wait and see. It doesn't look like it's going to be too hot this weekend. I will have a quick look again at the weather forecast in terms of what it's going to be like. It's ranging between 23 and 21 degrees in the day race time, so it's a bit hot. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. In terms of rain, it's still predicting rain for Friday night, Saturday morning. It shouldn't really interrupt any of the running, but like I said before, it might kind of get rid of any of the grip that has been laid down on the track. Real bad thunderstorms earlier this week there as well. I think that was on Wednesday or Thursday. There was a video of Bottas doing laps on his bike just in the soaking rain. But yeah, I'm going to go for Zhou points just because it'll be a nice story and to get his first points of the season at his home race. I think that'd be great. And also, my second prediction is possibly my most unbelievable prediction I've ever made in the history of this channel. My prediction is the sprint race will be good. I know. Big predictions here at Stop and Go F1. But there you go, the sprint race will be good. So we'll see. I think this will be quite an unpredictable one, especially in terms of grip, tyre wear, setup. That's going to be all that kind of stuff. I think that'll be the story of the weekend in terms of tyre wear. Who can handle their tyre wear well? Who's going to be struggling? I imagine the likes of your Red Bulls and Ferraris will still be up the front, because apparently there was data coming out of the Japanese Grand Prix that Charles Leclerc's tyre wear at a certain section of the race was basically non-existent. So that's great for Ferrari, who seem to struggle with their tyres in the previous seasons. So it should be a very fun one. We'll be back tomorrow morning to cover all things sprint shootout and also any upgrades we need to talk about. And then on Saturday, be here for sprint race and main qualifying. Then Sunday, it is the main race, which should all be very fun. Can't wait to see you there. So make sure you subscribe for all of that. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.